Good morning children, this is Hemlata. Welcome to class 7 IIT physics class. So children, you can see on the screen today we are going to discuss Newton's second law of motion in terms of rate of change of momentum. We will also discuss definitions of units of force in today's class. Okay, so in previous class what we discussed Newton's second law of motion derivation, is it now? In the previous class we discussed Newton's second law of motion, okay, and derivation of Newton's second law of motion, that is F is equal to ma derivation also. Today we are going to discuss this one only in terms of rate of change of momentum. Okay, so let's start today's class. So children, the Newton's second law of motion mathematical form we derived, what is that? F is equal to ma. Force is the product of mass and acceleration. Is it? Force is the product of mass and acceleration. In last class we discussed already, whenever we apply force on any body, then its velocity changes. Is it not? When we apply force on any body, its velocity can increase or decrease. So its velocity changes, and when its velocity change, it produces acceleration. Is it? So force is a product of mass and acceleration. So this is a mathematical form of Newton's second law of motion. Now you can see in the screen the Newton's second law of motion relates force to the mass and acceleration. It brings the relation between force and mass and acceleration. Is it? So here you can see force is equal to ma. The SI unit of force is Newton. Is it? What is the SI unit of force? Unit. Yeah, SI unit of force is Newton. SI what? Standard International Unit of Force is Newton. So you can see the definition of Newton. How can you define Newton? 1 Newton is what? 1 Newton is a force which when acts on a body of mass 1 kg produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. Okay, so 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg into 1 meter per second square. Newton is what? Force is equal to m into a. How much mass? 1 kilogram. And how much acceleration produce? 1 meter per second square. Understood children? How can you define the SI unit of force Newton? Newton is what? It's a force. 1 Newton is the force when it acts on a body of mass 1 kilogram produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. Very simple to remember the definition of force Newton. Is it? Newton is what? 1 Newton is the force when acts on a body of mass 1 kilogram produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. So 1 Newton is equal to 1 kilogram into 1 meter per second square. Okay. So the SI unit of force, you can say Newton also or kilogram meter per second square also. The standard symbol of Newton is capital N. When we write Newton, okay, the first letter Newton, okay, when we write full form of Newton, the first letter will be small. But when we write symbol of Newton must be capital N, because Newton named, okay, it is named after the name of the scientist. It's a unit which is named after the name of the scientist. That's why its symbol is capital N. Okay children. Next is CGS system. Children, we already discussed different system of units, FPS, MKS, CGS, is it? So CGS system, centimeter, gram and second. system, the unit of force is dyne. Okay, in SI system unit of force is Newton, but in CGS system unit of force is dyne. So how can you define dyne? One dyne is the force. One dyne is the force which when acts on a body of mass 1 gram produces an acceleration of 1 centimeter per second square. Because in CGS system the unit of mass is gram and unit for acceleration is centimeter per second square. So how can you define one dyne? One dyne is the force which when acts on a body of mass 1 gram and produces acceleration of 1 centimeter per second square. So one dyne is equal to 1 gram into 1 centimeter per second square, that is gram centimeter per second square. So you can say dyne or gram centimeter per second square. Here Newton or kilogram meter per second square, and here dyne or gram per centimeter per second square. Clear children? So next is relation between Newton and dyne. Newton is SI unit, dyne is CGS unit of force. So what is the relationship? How can you relate Newton and dyne? 1 Newton is equal to how much? 1 kilogram into 1 meter per second square. Force acts on a body of 1 kilogram produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. Now 1 kilogram equal to how much gram? 1000 gram. Now 1 meter per second square. So 1 meter is equal to how many centimeter? 100 centimeter second per second square. So per second square as it is will be there. Meter to centimeter, 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. So here 100 centimeter in place of 1 meter. So when we multiply, it's 10 to the power 5 gram centimeter per second square. Gram centimeter per second square. This gram centimeter per second square is nothing but dyne. Is it not? So 10 to the power 5 dyne. So 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. Okay, this is a relation between SI unit and CGS unit of force. Indirectly, suppose you can say relationship between Newton and dyne or relationship between SI unit and CGS unit of force is what? 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. Very important in the numerical point of view, because when you do the numericals, so many questions you have to convert. Okay, so that time it will be useful. Clear children? Now I think you are very clear. Once again, Newton is the SI unit of force. How can you define Newton? 1 Newton is the force when acts on a body of mass 1 kilogram produce an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. It is based on the formula F equal to ma. CGS system, unit of force is dyne. How can you define dyne? 1 dyne is the force which when acts on a body of mass 1 gram produces an acceleration of 1 centimeter per second square. Newton or kilogram meter per second square. Dyne or gram centimeter per second square. How can you relate Newton and dyne? 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. Clear children? Okay. Now children, next we will go for Newton's second law of motion in terms of rate of change of momentum. Clear? Children, Newton's out of the 3 laws of motion, Newton's all the 3 laws of motions are very famous. But Newton's second law of motion is known as fundamental law of motion. Got it? Very, very important. Newton's second law of motion is known as fundamental law of motion. So now you will see the Newton's second law of motion in terms of rate of change of momentum. Okay. So let's see. When force is applied on a body, whenever force is applied on a body, it produces acceleration in the body. Is it true or not? Whenever force applied on a body, velocity of the body changes, and when velocity changes, of course, acceleration produced. Okay, hence momentum of the body also changes. Is it? Momentum is equal to what? Product of mass and velocity. Velocity changes, momentum changes. Is it? So whenever force is applied on the body, velocity changed, momentum changed, body produces acceleration. So rate of change of momentum, we already discussed in the previous class. Rate of change of momentum is equal to product of mass and acceleration, MA. Rate of change of momentum. Change of momentum means delta P. Clear? Once again I want to say, children, you must watch all the videos in series, because if you will skip any one video also in middle, the next class you can't understand at all. Okay, even one class also minimum 2 to 3 times completely till end you have to watch, then only you can understand the concept. Okay, and don't skip any video in the middle. Got it? So once again I will say, momentum. Momentum is what? Product of mass and velocity. Momentum is denoted by P. Delta stands for small change in the quantity. Now delta P means change in momentum. Delta P stands for change in momentum. By delta T is there. So change in momentum by change in time. So this delta P by delta T is what? Rate of change of momentum. So rate of change of momentum is equal to what? Mass into acceleration. Already we derived in the last class. Rate of change of momentum is equal to mass into acceleration. If mass remains constant, okay, so F force is equal to rate of change of momentum, delta P by delta T, is equal to delta P delta mv. P is what? Momentum, that is mass into velocity. So delta P delta mv by delta T. M is what? Constant. Clear? So here M will come front, delta V by delta T. Delta V by delta T is equal to acceleration. What is acceleration? Rate of change of velocity with time. Acceleration means what? Rate of change of velocity with time. So if M is constant, mass is constant, then delta mv is equal to what? M delta v. Okay, are you understanding? Delta P means delta mv, because P is equal to mv, mass into velocity. Mass is constant, then it becomes m delta v. Now delta v by delta t is equal to a, acceleration. So this expression will be turned into ma, f equal to ma. Clear? Now you can see, children, force is equal to ma, whereas rate of change of momentum also ma. It means force is equal to rate of change of momentum. Is it? So Newton's second law of motion in terms of change in momentum can be defined as According to Newton's second law of motion, the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the force applied on it, and change in momentum take place in direction in which the force is applied. Whenever force applied on a body, velocity changes. If velocity changes, momentum will change, because momentum is equal to mass into velocity. So if velocity changes, of course momentum will change. So the rate of change of momentum directly proportional to the force applied on it. How much force applied on it? Okay, on that it depends how the rate of change of momentum. And this change in momentum takes place in what direction? In which direction force is applied. Got it, children? Very important this one. Newton's second law of motion, the rate of change of momentum of a body directly proportional to the force applied on the body. And change in momentum takes place in which direction? In which direction force is applied on the body. Newton's second law of motion is the fundamental law of motion. Okay, Newton's second law of motion is considered as a fundamental law of motion. The first law of motion can be included in the second law. How? Let's see. To obtain Newton's first law of motion from second law of motion, according to Newton's second law, what is F is equal to ma. If F is 0, of course A is 0. Suppose no force is applied on the body, acceleration produced also will be 0. Is it true or not, children? Of course. If no force is applied on the body, if you are not applying any force on the body, velocity will not change. And if velocity will not change, acceleration also will not produce. So acceleration will be 0. So if the body is at rest, force is not applied on the body is at rest, it remains at rest. Is it? Because acceleration also not produced. And if it is moving, it will remain moving in same direction with the same speed. Is it? Thus, a body not acted upon any external force, suppose any external force is not acting on the body, has an unaccelerated motion. No acceleration will be there in the body. So this is a statement that is first law of motion. So you can see very easily Newton's first law we can find out from second law. Got it, children? In the next coming class, we will see some examples of second law of motion in our daily life. Okay? So this is for today. Once again, I want to tell you, you have to watch the video till end 2 to 3 times. If you will not watch the video till end 2 to 3 times, or you will skip any videos middle, you cannot understand the concepts. Very soon I am going to conduct online test, because this second concepts kinematics is Newton's laws of motion. We already in the Newton's second law of motion, then third law of motion, and very soon the before topics I am going to conduct the test. Okay, so you must be in the touch of all the videos. So this is for today. Thanks for watching.